Who would like to recap the very many events that happened last session?
Last session was literally just Umbra going, "Oh, hey, I weird ring bad. Didn't think about that. Here you go, Mr. Priest. Here's some armor that I won by playing fair games. That's enchanted. You're going to identify and remove this curse. Oh, I have another get remove curse free ticket. Do you want that, Jean Javert? No? Okay. I'll put it in the IOU book.
Well, first off, Jean Javert would never turn that down.
Cool. I didn't want to accept or explicitly deny, just in case you had a different idea. So
No,
I
I'm
left it
taking
open.
that.
Cool. We can retroactively have happen then.
Welcome to
Then
this part of the interest for my back pay that I've yet to receive so far.
I guess we then have to retroactively remove Umbra offering it to Cain instead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you did do that.
Well, then Umbra and Jean Javert returned to the Hepburn Manor, where we all sat around and basically just talked and RP'd for like the entire session of what we were going to do next, and we basically agreed that we're not going to plan anything because these rings have the ability to scry on us without our knowledge, so nothing is safe until they are gone. So we kind of just sat around, shot the shit for a few hours, with the plan of going to the temple to remove the remaining cursed rings, it being the only solid plan that we have.
And also notably, Anissa and Umbra gave Jean Javert their removed rings for Jean Javert to use as part of your magic creation,
Yes.
Oh boy.
which I think I've added into your inventory.
Yes.
3 rings of mind strengthening, okay.
Yeah, cursed rings of mind strengthening. Get rid of them.
Um,
Umbra did have the caveat that after the magic's removed, he wants his back.
okay, so... Gotcha, I'll make note of that. Now, Jean Javert, is the free curse, like, in addition to the ring, or is it just, like, a free remove curse?
Oh, Umbra traded the armor that he won for remove curse services, and then basically had an extra. Basically, the value of the armor equated to 1 use of identify and then 2 uses of remove curse.
Although that it will be noted that the ring technically had two curses on it, only one of which was counted as a magical curse in that you can remove the ring. So that was the part of the curse that was removed. The part where the maker of the ring is able to spy on you seems to be baked so deeply into the magic it is not removable from the rest of the magic.
Hmm. Is it like... So it's like part of the creation of it. It's not like an additional
Yeah.
rune added in.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like
Okay.
trying to remove tomatoes out of a bolognese sauce.
Hmm. Okay, so... Okay. So, I just want to clarify, just so... Because I think you know where I'm going with this, Ren, but...
Mm-hmm.
Do I have, like, a choice? Is this like an either or for me, or can I get both removed?
It's an
I just
either
want to
or.
see what my choices are.
It is an either or, I'm afraid.
Okay,
You
that's
only
fair.
have one
I'm going to
remove
keep
curse.
the ring.
Cool. Yeah, so you can keep the ring. You won't be able to remove it, and you now know that someone can spy on you at any time.
That's fair.
But
Let them watch me.
the other thing can have its curse removed.
Awesome. Now as part of the writing on this only makes it so I'm no longer having to be affected by the curse, but it is still a cursed magical item, correct?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, good. I will hold on to that, but I will not attune to that, so I'm going to remove that from my weapon list.
Cool. So you are now willing to part with it, essentially.
Yes.
Alright. You are freed of the curse of the dagger by an impossibly old, hunched-over priest of Baldre. My apologies. A priest of Orion. And after that, you are able to return to the house where you have now been talking for a good little while. Anissa and Umbra have given Javier a couple of rings. Anissa has then gone up to the valet quarters where Prince Kurt is currently sleeping to guard over him. And Davina has retreated to her mother's chambers. Do the rest of you wish to have a long sleep as well?
But yeah, resting.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I'm fully rested too.
I'm just gonna stay at the family lounge and sitting down on the couch all night, doing absolutely nothing, like static, without moving.
It is a semi-firm sofa. It's not the easiest to sleep on, but if you just want to kind of chill, trance, it's
Yeah, I don't
perfectly
need to sleep,
workable.
but I just need to stay inactive for 4 hours.
Cool. It's more than serviceable for that. Then you're not gonna get a bad night's sleep repercussions. Javier, Umbra,
Yeah, Umbra will
Yeah.
go upstairs, find a bed.
and sleep in it.
Yep, sounds good.
Cool. You'll gain the benefits of a long rest. Morning breaks seemingly uninterrupted. Anissa, you hear the gentle, somewhat nervous knocking on the door of one that you know now to be one of the many irises.
I mean, I think Anissa will actually try and learn their proper name. You know, not unless this is a very popular name. I don't think Iris is the name of everyone.
It is the name of one of them, yes, but not all three. It's been so long with the running joke, I've actually lost the sheet where I have the names in. But no one else will remember either, so I'm just going to come up with new names for them.
Why not? Yeah, we'll walk up to the door. Bit of a bedhead, like half dressed in armor. It's an unusual sight, but
at this point you would probably know this one to be called Nadia.
okay. Morning, Nadia. Yes, I'm good with names. What can I do for you?
I just wondered if the prince might perhaps want turning down, cleaning, that sort of thing.
Oh, but looks over. Probably looks like he needs it.
Yeah,
Probably
like
best.
he's been kind of sleep sweating for about 24 hours now.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go over. We'll pick him up, and then just
Like the window is getting condensation from his body right now.
damn. Yeah.
as she walks over, she's got like a towel, little pot of warm water, and just a bundle of fresh bedding attached by a rope on her back. She just say, breakfast is served downstairs.
Oh, here, let me give you a hand. And will, as they said, give them a hand.
Cool. The pair of you are able to clean him down quite thoroughly. It's at this point that you, as you're washing his body, you notice on the middle of his back there seems to be a unnatural blemish forming on his skin.
Oh, god damn it. Oh, you know what that's gonna be. I think I'd like to medicine that.
You can medicine that.
I will certainly try to medicine that. I know nothing.
It just looks like a bed sore. You know, maybe just try and get his body to be shifted in a different position each day. It's not healthy for a little boy to be so still for so long.
Isn't this a full adult man?
Yes, but he's also very little.
He
Touche.
baby.
He baby.
He's
Okay.
just a little gnome. He only has 3 hit points.
Okay, less. I guess medicine was more, physical. Is there anything magical about it? Given
You
that
can
he is.
certainly do an Arcana check.
Haha. Well, you see, this is going to be even worse. What the
Ooh.
fuck?
It definitely looks like the pattern that is forming. It feels vaguely reminiscent of that glyph that you saw in the abandoned manor locking the basement door. It appears to be like the outline of a magical glyph, but it appears to be growing on his skin naturally.
Okay, we'll draw that, but won't draw attention to Nadia for that. And we'll just carry on.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to I'll give you a dealer's choice here on deception or sleight of hand to stop her seeing it, or otherwise pretend everything's okay.
I think I'll go deception,
Mm-hmm. A
Is that
charisma
it?
build with a deception roll.
Well, I have a +6.
I think you should start picking the ones that you have terrible modifiers at, buddy.
Yeah.
As she turns, she can tell that you're trying to hide something, but as someone in her position would do, doesn't inquire, doesn't act on it further. It does give you a bit of a strange look.
We'll just return it. She knows she's been rumbled.
And you're able to finish up, pop him back down, no problems whatsoever. What are the rest of the party doing? If anything in particular, other than just chilling, having breakfast, coffee, etc.
Right. Yeah, Umbra's just going to the table, getting food.
It appears a lucky day today because it is chocolate pancake day.
That's
think
indeed
they
a
will
day.
like it.
Davina will just clump downstairs. Ugh, I did tell Mrs. Fallon I wanted these a bit more often. She
I think
flops
you have
down.
to,
She has a glass of whiskey. Go ahead, sorry, Cain.
I think she did do it so often because it would not be as healthy for you and everyone else. I assume.
Listen, I will decide what's healthy for me, okay?
Very well. Have a nice breakfast.
You really shouldn't argue about healthy eating habits to the one who thinks that whiskey is a good afternoon tea.
That's a good point.
So after breakfast, what do you guys plan to do today?
Go
I
immediately
believe.
at the temple.
Yeah, I believe the plan was to go remove some curses and then discuss a plan.
Five of you gather up and head off to the temple. You're getting off a little quicker than you normally do in the morning. So you're kind of caught in the crush of people trying to come to and from work. The streets are quite a bit busier than normal as you head over to the temple. There's lots of very dour looking soldiers in particular that you see marching northwards as you reach the place where Lantaine Road and Antillon Avenue almost connect. Amongst them are several of the royal guards, but most of them appear to be standard soldiers coming from the castle. They look geared for war.
And Umbra is gonna look at them and everything. Do they seem like to be going through drills, or does this seem like they are preparing for something?
It appears that they are embarking on something.
This seems odd for a time of, well, unease, not outright war. Is there any individuals who seem like they're just might know something, like not any of the soldiers, but like civilians or like an official or something that he could bother, because he doesn't want to bother the soldiers because that would be too obvious.
As there are on many corners, there is an urchin selling today's newspaper.
Yeah.
He is shouting, "Extra, extra! Army marches off for war!"
Oof.
Yeah, Umbra just throws a gold at the child and just grabs the paper in his hand and just rips it out.
Cool, thanks, mister.
We're reading.
He bites the coin. To make a long story short, it appears that the disease that has affected the neighbouring country of Thescron seems to have grown out of control, and now the Athington government have decided to erect a barricade to quarantine Athington from Thescron. And it would appear that the army has come to do this effectively and perhaps then to go beyond the wall and make things more permanent.
Umbra would hand off the newspaper to whoever would want it. Oh, this isn't a true war. Nothing interesting. Just that little disease perking up again.
It's always in the north. Something is always in the north. I want to keep the newspaper and read as much as I can about the subject.
Has this tactic been used before?
Roll me a history check, please.
Oh boy, I'm terrible at this.
So you should roll great.
What are my rolls today?
You don't recall a specific event where a country has been quarantined, but the tactics do seem reminiscent of sieges.
I mean, it's one thing to involve the standard militia, it's another thing to involve royal guards. We typically don't get involved with these type of things.
That is indeed very strange.
Means chances are something else is going on. You make the public worry about one thing and then you stab someone in the third rib.
Specifically the third.
Of course.
It sounds about common practice for all political matters, especially during times like these.
How many royal guards are there?
There's about one for every 50 regular soldiers. So they seem to be, heading a battalion. And it seems that there are about 20 battalions. So about 20 guards.
Are they moving towards one of the skyship spires, or are they just going towards the edges of town?
They appear to be taking Antillean Avenue northwards and out of the city, and indeed towards Antilion, and then the edge of Thescron. But as you look over the skyships, you do see on a couple of the closer spires, this one here and this one here, both on the avenue, that there are some very large cargo ships that seem to be being loaded up.
Any signifying markings, or are these just basic ships?
Oh yes, sorry, they do have the royal seal on them.
Okay.
Of the army. And Cain, with your particular perception and ideals, you will also notice that these ships seem to have openable hatches in the bottom of them.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Jean Javier was assuming that this correlates with the protesting of the bombings.
I don't... with a 15 of passive, you would be able to spot that as well, actually, yes.
Well, no, like, Jean Javier, even if he didn't see the hatches, he would have, like, made an
That's
educated guess. Yeah, because, like, when he, like, way back when they encountered the protest, and he acted like he was a reporter talking to one of the people, and they were talking about how they were against dropping the bombs, using the airships for war like that.
Yeah. Apart from the newspaper and the airships and everything you can glean from that, you do hear a fair amount of people whispering a bit worriedly. In particular, directly outside the temple, you do see the priest of Boldre talking with the priest of dour. And it seems to be quite animated.
I want to hear that if I can.
Yeah, Umbra will begin to attempt to eavesdrop, making it look as inconspicuous as possible.
Okay, anyone moving closer but wishing to be unseen must roll a stealth check.
Oh,
That's a pretty bad roll.
I don't want to roll
Especially
stealth,
for
I just want to
priests.
walk in.
Go ahead, sorry, Cain.
I just want to walk in, like, pretend I just get inside the temple because we are getting to the temple.
I could argue a performance for that.
Oh! Okay, let's just go. That was not good.
13 is still
13?
good.
Yeah.
It's almost as good as the fucking rogue.
I'm sorry, I rolled a 3.
Well, they do seem to be quite set on like hushedly having an argument with one another. The priest of Doldorn. Doldorn is the god of strength, honor, battles, war. He seems to be quite angry with the priest of Baldre. Is almost accusing Baldre of failing to contain it, and therefore he has to send his men in to do what he refers to as a dishonorable war. And the Baldre priest counters that the head priest, Dionysus Bowen, did everything that they were able to, and it's not the fault of Baldre, it's the fault of the Thescron rats for polluting the earth and their community with magic.
Would I know what kind of match they are referring to?
You have been there, but a long time ago, so I'd ask you could do history or nature.
Okay. My nature. 19.
Finally, some good rolls. Yep, so the enchantment that the Thescron put upon their orchards is is essentially protective magic, and magic to encourage the plant life to grow a little quicker and a little bit juicier and riper. It's nothing too perverse, but it's not a normal practice. But yeah, at least the priest of Doldorn does seem to believe that it was these enchantments that mutated, which now bring the magic-eating disease.
I'm sorry, did you just create an entire in-world conflict about magically modified organisms, MMOs?
Pretty much. I mean, I did just create it, but
The GMOs of D&D, everybody.
the GM's O's.
These are my organisms. Now roll to fight my mimics.
These are my organisms, and I get to choose the way in which they kill you. So yeah, that's about it. The priests essentially storm off in a huff, but both of them are trying to go to work, so they storm off in the same direction. It's a little awkward, and then they huff again and peel off to the opposite ends of the temple interior.
Well, Umbra will circle back round. Well, none of this appears to be our issue. Just geopolitics happening. We have our task. Rings off. Plan our next move.
Yeah, sure, let's go.
Alright, sounds good.
go into the church, I assume you're looking for the Orion priest again, since he was the one who was most helpful last time.
At this point, Umbra doesn't have any IOUs to cash in, so he doesn't care where people go as long as they get their rings off.
Okay, where do people want to go?
I think-
I'd hope that Umbra would at least have shared that the Baldre priest appeared to not be able to perform the magic that was required.
Oh, I think they could, but they didn't accept
sorry.
armor as payment.
Yes, that was it. Did not make a note of that part.
I'll go after a priest of Arai.
You find the priestess in charge of today's worship of Arawai, currently decorating the shrine with dried yellow flowers. You know them to be
Excuse
called
me.
morning glories.
I'm sorry to bother you this morning. I'm in dire need of a service.
What kind of service can I do for you?
Do you happen to know how remove a curse from an item?
In my line of work, I have to remove many things.
I thought so. Well, the thing is, I am in the possession of a ring. A curse ring, and I want to remove it from my person.
Of course I can do that for you. The price is 90 gold.
Yeah. And I'll take 90 gold and give to her.
She holds your hand. Her skin is very soft and warm. She mutters a very short sentence in a language you do not know, and then the ring, just the pressure that it had around your finger just loosens, and you feel like it's now able to come off.
I have two questions though.
Mm-hmm.
First, is my ring above my glove, or is like direct at my kin?
I guess it's whichever you chose to put it on. But if you put it on over your glove, you would not have been able to remove your glove for quite some time.
Yeah, I think above the glove, because if she touched my skin, something bad would happen. So since
That's fine.
she's removing the curse
In that case,
now,
her skin just looks warm and soft. I mean, you could feel the warmth through the glove for sure. It's
yeah.
a very oddly familiar warmth. Just the warmth of someone gentle. Yes,
Oh.
you are now able to remove your glove as well as your ring.
Thank you for your service, and have a blessing day.
And I believe the only one left is Davina, who I know got one of her servants to get 90 gold out of her family's coffers and uses that on with the priest of Orion, and is able to remove her ring that way.
Alright. It seems we have all the rings off. So we can now speak without the need of scrying, revealing our plans.
Well, properly successful scrying. But yeah, you know.
Well,
Anissa, you would notice that Jean Javier is
Undetectable.
still wearing the ring.
mid-sentence, head just drifts down to stare at his hand.
Jean Javert has both his hands on top of his walking stick. Just looks over.
Just Saints and Shadows, what the fuck? You're still wearing the ring. It's there.
Oh, would you look at that?
Just stares at Umbra.
Umbra just stares back, and his hand is slowly reaching towards one of the many daggers strapped to his
Now, hold on.
strapped to his person.
Now, this
I
isn't me
gave
trying
you-
to be a... And I had something that was a little bit more pressing than this little ring here.
Then I will
What?
cut it off.
Now. I do have an alternative way that will not cost us any money to remove the ring. However, it does require that I need to get some connections going, as I have to pull some strings.
We don't have time. The
Well, we
idea
might-
was to take them off so the people we are going after don't see us coming, because they are the same people who gave us the damn things.
Jean
If you're-
Javert thinks.
If your little whatever pressing matter is more important than the job, you won't have somebody to sign your paychecks.
I was just thinking, because what I need to do is I need to bring 5 people over here to the temple. But it does need to be some people from Davina's line. I need some upper class schmucks to bring over to the temple.
Jean, I respect you as a friend, but do you realize how much of a cult-like activity that sounds like?
No. This is for Kol Koran. I spoke with the head priest. I have my name in his ledgers. No worries about that. Baftaz Zohala, I believe, was his name. If you want to go double check and make sure I'm not lying, feel free to walk right
No,
inside the temple.
I trust you on that front. I'm just saying, when you say the words, "Oh, I need 5 people and some people from Davina's bloodline," it sounds a little bit sus, my guy.
I didn't say from Davina's bloodline. I said from her case. Of just 5 schmucks from the upper class. That's all I need.
Why my
And-
class in particular?
Don't ask me. He's the one who said the upper class. I didn't choose. If it was up to me, I would have just gotten 5 people off the streets before I came back to the manor.
And
What?
you did.
To what end is this playing towards?
To get the curse off. Free of charge. Alternatively, if you happen to have 45 gold laying around, you can take that out of my paycheck and then we can go do it right now.
Was remove curse 45?
No, remove curse is 90. Jean Javert is implying that he has a 50% discount.
And this will just hand you 45 gold. Just go deal with it, please.
Alright. Tosses up the coins in the air, catches them again, and walks right into the temple. You all discuss what you need. I'll be right back.
Well, once Jean Javert is out of sight and out of earshot, Umbra wants to make sure he is not lurking around first before speaking.
Jean Javert has fully gone inside the temple.
I'm still. Look. Umbra
Wanna
is
do a
not.
perception check?
Yeah, Umbra is not the
I think you should just
most
learn
perceptive.
you shouldn't roll today.
I mean, a 7's not bad.
I will say
Suppose.
you do see Jean Javert walk in, and he does not attempt to do anything sneaky. He, like, blatantly walks in, hard turns, and then just, like, walks further into the temple.
He's not hard to spot. You see the
Especially because
the
you
top
hear the
hat bobbing
tapping
up, yeah.
of his walk cane.
Umbra will turn back towards the others. My respect and trust for him has gone down significantly, putting our patron at risk for something that unwilling to share with us outside of some shady dealings. I may be a criminal and a member of the Corps, but at least I am honest with you, and I am forefront going after the goal of aiding the one who signs our checks.
Speaking of that, pulls out a notebook with the same symbol that was on Kurt's back. Recognize that?
Umbra will take a look. He's very not versed in these things, but perhaps it could be Thieves' Cant or something he might remember from former days.
It definitely seems magical in appearance, not Thieves' Cant.
Can he attempt to recall if he has ever heard or seen something like this before?
He can, and I will have Davina give you the help action.
Ah,
She's
look
like,
at that.
I swear that's kind of familiar. Look at it.
With Davina's help, that's an 18 on
Do you
history.
recall many, many sessions ago on a certain airship and a certain prisoner who turned into a werebear? There was a tattoo on his foot. It began to disappear as, I believe it was Brooke was attempting to note it down, but the similarities are striking.
This seems similar to the tattoo upon the idiot whenever we were traveling towards here, the pirate that turned into the werebear. Does it not?
I wasn't there for that. My recollection was that he was
Talking
on
to
the door.
Davina.
Oh my god, I think you're right.
On our asset.
Well,
Do you think that this tattoo is like the thing that makes them turn into, like, werebears or something?
perhaps it is some kind of mark to denote who is their master?
Where did
The
you find
head.
this?
On the back of a friend.
Davina, like, instinctually starts glancing at everyone that is in the immediate vicinity's backs. Like, Cain and Umbra specifically, and then starts worrying about her own.
No.
Trust me, Davina. She would die before she got me undressed.
Davina's eyes fall even stronger on Cain then.
No, it's not any of us.
You have other friends?
I think this is a roundabout way of saying our employer, not our
Yes.
friend.
Jesus, yes.
Oh. Oh.
Well, my trust for Jean Javert has decreased with this blunder. He is the one most well-versed in magical things among us, I believe. He may know more.
Hey, I did study magic for a couple of years at ACM.
And yet you're a lawyer and not a wizard.
Look, it was just because my family thought that would be like a better career path for me, and then I kind of liked it. I can still do magic.
Right. Point still stands, we might be a little too late on certain elements of our job, Umbra, given there are 200 plus officers making their way onto airships. 50 royal guards, which is unusual.
This is none of my concern. Our job is the protection of his body, not of his policies. I could care less if some farmers get turned to ash.
There's a bit of a difference between farmers and a country, Umbra. Eventually it will make logistics difficult. Even you can admit that.
And? So
Might
this
just be-
place burns.
Might just be an
It's not my
operational
home.
pain in the arse. That's all.
It weeds out the competition. Cripple one place, suddenly your royal candidate looks a bit better. This is nothing but power plays of the elite. None of my concern.
You soon find that even though it's not your concern, it can somehow affect you without you even realizing. After all, even this not being your place, you still on it. And if some things go down, everyone here goes down.
If things go down or look bad, I can return home. It is far out of the way of this shenanigans and these power plays.
Fair enough.
Besides, who would bomb North Bradle? The place is already a shithole.
I don't know. I don't know why I said it like that. I have absolutely no idea. Right, what are we doing though?
We're going after the head. We said we needed to do it. Once
Yeah,
that the head is dead, it means our employer is released of his curse, and we have done our job of protecting his body.
Yeah. Right. How are we doing that then?
At this point, I would assume that Javier has finished having the ring removed and is returned.
That's up to you. I don't control the campaign or the flow of how fast a priest casts remove curse.
Good point, good point. It's quick, it's painless. They accept the money. It is not, however, the same person that you met the night before, but there seems to be a note that of your promise and your ability to either get a hefty discount or even heftier discount.
Alright, awesome. Glad that my promissory note was still there.
It seems that Cor-Chalybe keeps very accurate records, which isn't unexpected. Yeah. The priest wishes you a fortuitous day.
And to you as well. Thank you very much. By the way, where is that one priest? I'm sorry, I just wanted to make sure. Baptized Zohala was his name?
Oh, the head priest Zohala is currently in the castle in the War Council.
Of course. Sorry, I should have expected what with all the hubbub going around. Thank you very much for your time.
Fortune be with you.
And with you as well. Sorry, I was also making up my backup character because so far it's sounding like people want to.
Fair enough. I think you've made
I was
yourself
joking
just
about the backup
useful
character,
enough.
but yeah, Javier will saunter back out.
I believe that everything's normalized now.
I'd hope so.
Your ring, like all the others, are now removable?
Yeah, Javier holds up his paws, shows that there's no ring on any of the fingers. Also lifts up his feet and shows that he's not trying to slip it anywhere else. All removed. There will be no scrying from this point forward.
Good. We have a wolf to track.
Well, it was about
Wow.
time we used this potion then. And Jean Javert pulls out the potion of tracking.
How the hell does that even work?
I assume one of us drinks it and then tries to hunt down a wolf. Unfortunately, my sniffer doesn't work so much after a unfortunate accident, so I'm not that much of a hunter, really.
Then we must return to the... Wait. I thought the plan was to give the potion to the hound that we had trapped.
I believe we released it a while ago.
Wait, did we?
He's not
No,
there
I don't-
anymore.
Someone
Then-
did.
Wait, did somebody check?
Thomas was released, no? I remember someone say, Ayo, when the guards come in, Ayo, when the coast is clear.
Out of game, I know who.
Jean Javert never released or revealed that information.
However,
Oh yeah, I'm saying
yeah.
out of game.
In game, the servants would have, or Miss Fallon in particular, would have checked on the storage room at some point and would have found it empty and would have told Davina that, who would have told you all.
Well, shit.
It would appear that line is gone.
I believe that among us, the one that has the best tracking skills would be Umbra.
I
Taking
thought
my
Davina
advice.
would be. She might have taken a couple classes on it, but who knows what she did in that college of hers.
I have not spent a single day sleeping where I did not want to, thank you.
With how you drink, I find that hard to believe.
Out of game, I will also remind you, your characters would know this. Yesterday in the casino, you did uncover that Tatiana Crescendo is probably somewhere in the Aurel de Papin hotel.
Yeah, in the
Mm.
hotel.
But we don't know the number of the room.
There are multiple
that's
ways
why
to
we
figure
asked.
that out.
Without our hound, I guess the priestess is probably our best bet. Because without a trail to begin tracking, even if I took a potion, I would have one hell of a time trying to find the leads and be able to track. Time we don't have.
Well, the potion's magical. It specifically helps you to track down werewolves, so why not just give it a drink?
If it's magical, then why don't you do it?
Jean Javert holds the potion by the bottleneck, pops out the cork, and drinks it.
He's just gonna stay nearby if he fall or something.
At this point, you would know its properties.
Okay, so... Yes, so I'm going to focus on werewolf.
Not werewolf, but head werewolf.
The head werewolf.
Yeah.
Is there a distinction? As far as creature blocks go.
When it says, yeah, there is a distinction between werewolves and the head werewolf.
Okay. So then I will focus on the thought of head werewolf.
You get just this sense within yourself, dragging you towards the northwest.
Okay. And I'll follow it, leading the way.
As we're traveling, can Umbra attempt to slip into the crowd a bit and continue following from a bit of a distance in case he needs to ambush anything? Or in case the group gets ambushed, then he can do a counter ambush.
Sure. The crowd is thailing a bit, so I would ask for a stealth check just to maintain kind of a natural following distance.
Well, I am
Should be
very good at rolling
consistent.
threes.
Jean Javert and therefore the rest of you follow this to the gates of, the doors of, rather, the Orel de Papa.
Ooh. Shut up.
Okay.
Statue on the head. Fuck.
Umbra is literally hiding in the shadows. And you,
Okay.
Is that a sign saying the name of the place?
is there a sign? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Ooh.
big, like, curling copper plate letters etched in, well, copper above the door. It says Orel de Papin, restaurant, hotel, bar.
Well, you guys know the other person that we know for sure is stay in this place, right?
Uh-huh.
Lady Crescendo.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Anissa's friend. Jean Javert is gonna pause a paw on the door, on the front doors, and looks over to Davina and says, I hope you don't mind, but we might need a distraction just so the rest of us can get up there. Do you mind schmoozing the front, what's the name? The front
Receptionist.
door person? Yeah, receptionist. There we go.
Receptionist.
Why me?
Well, I would do
I
it
don't
myself,
speak
but
some
unfortunately, I'm the one that's tracking right now.
Fine. What do you want me to say exactly?
Just make a scene.
I feel like I am being typecast here.
See, you're already in character. And then Jean Javert is gonna push open the doors.
I guess Davina will follow very swiftly in step. My good sir, I demand that you tell me right now where I can find some good whiskey. The bar, madam, ahead.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. Long story short, Davina is going to argue with him about how that is not good whiskey, and then proceed to lecture him on what makes good whiskey, good brandy, etc. I will note here you see a set of steps going down with a very crooked sign that says discount rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Into the basement. Jean Javert, you get this tingling on the floor above. That's where you feel
Alright.
you need to be right now.
Jean Javert is gonna head up to the stairs to go up.
Umbra wants to mostly stick to the shadows and stay a few steps behind, as normal.
Okay.
Oh.
And specifically, it's not this room. It's not this room. But you are so close with this third room on the left.
Jean Javert, as he walks, is gonna like use his walking stick. Is just gonna kind of like almost like a dowsing rod, just kind of like back and forth as he's walking, and then at this point he is going to stop, and his stick is going to point at the door.
I'll just cast Shillelagh to prepare in case of anything.
The room
Are you
beyond
sure?
is utterly quiet.
Well, that's what the potion's telling me. I'm thinking real hard about what we're looking for, and it's right here.
Umbra will sneak a bit closer. Set up
Can you
at the
try-
door. I believe this is what we call a breach and clear.
Hang on just 1 second.
And Jean
Can I-
Javert just steps back.
Hear anyone else in the other? I'm trying to basically see whether the room we are about to enter has the head priest in it,
Or if you have anyone.
they're in another room. Yeah, like try and get a general sense of when we cause chaos because kicking in a door isn't quiet. Who is around us for that kind of thing?
Roll a perception check, please.
Who said
Can
we're
I help with
kicking?
that? I'll help with that.
Oh, you'll help with that. Okay, I'll roll again.
While this is
Oh.
going on,
I apologize.
Umbra
for
would
the
like to
grid, by
start
the way.
picking the lock.
It is very, very quiet on this floor. You sense there's like a bath maybe somewhere over here that someone is currently using. But yeah, you also hear very, very quiet, reverential muttering from beyond the door.
Umbra, I think we're about to kick in the door of a priest.
Umbra, Anissa, I'm going to pick the lock so we're not kicking.
I'm using one set of language for a different thing. Just shut up and carry on picking the lock.
Thieves' tools,
Umbra,
please.
That's a 20.
20 is more than enough to just finesse the lock open.
With that, Umbra's going to take a bit of a side thing and hide against the door frame, so he can be unseen and motions for them to enter.
As you're stepping up to the door, you just hear Davina saying, "Whiskey is not brandy!"
Oh my god, it's
From
like
the floor
Davina's
below.
actually here. It's perfect.
I'm going to the
Sometimes
door
you can
first.
still hear her voice. Who's
I'll let you go
opening?
to the door.
Yeah.
Do you open the door?
Yeah. I open and enter.
Beyond, you see a priest of Eladra. He is wearing the typical Eladrin robes, which are almost all black, with a few white accents, kind of mimicking the look of a traditional domino, which is the sigil of Eladra. And he appears to be kneeling at the foot of the bed, praying, and inside the bed is an unconscious, possibly dead changeling. You would suspect that this changeling, as you do know that Tatiana Crescendo is a changeling, you would assume that this is they.
I'm gonna look over to John and with a quiet look be like, which one of them is?
Yeah, the bed is
Is a
definitely
guy.
being drawn to you.
Yeah, Jean Javert is just gonna point this walking stick at the bed.
With that, Umbra's going to peek around the corner. Seeing the two, he is going to attempt to walk forward, drawing the silvered dagger in a low grip. An attempt to approach without being noticed.
Alright, stealth check please, and the priest will just stand, very slowly bow to you all. Are you here to pay reverence to our departed?
I'm here to check on her. We have something to analyze. Do you mind?
And who are you, may I ask? I do not recognize you in the clergy.
No, I'm someone who has interests on a mutual friend, and I'm used to be a good healer in the past, so yes, I'm here to try to sort things out.
With your passive insight, Cain, and Anissa from the door as well, you would see that as soon as Cain says that that they are a healer, this priest seems overwhelmed with relief. There is something not quite right with this scene.
Oh,
Was Umbra able to get in from what he assumes is undetected?
The priest has made no mention of seeing you.
Alright, Umbra's going to stand there with the dagger drawn and kind of just held to his side, and is going to hold an action to drive it through the heart of the changeling if there's any movement.
Right, if things go sour, basically.
Yeah.
Can I, with like, with perception or whatever you deem necessary, I want to check like the bottom fringes of the bed, just see if there's anything like out of place, like maybe if something is underneath the bed.
Okay, are you doing that from the corridor?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like peeking through the doorway. I don't want... Javier obviously does not put himself in the thick of things.
I would say that could be an investigation, as you're like looking at one very particular spot for one particular thing.
Okay. Oh, don't know why that was still to GM, but that was a 14 I rolled.
A 14 is good. It appears that the rug under the bed has been cleaned recently and does not appear to have any fraying of anything being moved repeatedly underneath, or yeah, there's, and as you bend down you can see the priest's legs on the other side of the bed quite clearly, so you can't see anything and you can see quite well.
All right.
The priest will look at Cain. A healer. We could do with one.
yes.
Our dear leader, they have been in a sleep like this for the best part of a week now. Every now and then, people come and take their blood. And I hide behind the mirror.
Does that line up with the account of the playing of the flute?
That was about a week ago as well.
I want to check if he's lying.
Yeah, roll an insight check.
Sorry, just for note keeping as well.
Mm-hmm.
How long has Kurt been unconscious again?
Just over 24 hours now.
Okay.
Well, that's a natural 20.
Yep. It seems y'all's luck with rolling is definitely changing. This priest definitely knows more than he is telling you right now. But he is indeed genuine. At least this priest does seem to be a genuine priest of Eladra. He appears to be telling the truth about Chatiana Crescendo's condition and that people are coming to steal their blood.
Yeah, that seems about right, but if you really want us to help her, you got to tell everything you know, and we both know that you're not saying everything, are you?
They did catch me once, and they said that they would raise the temple, the casino, to the ground if I told anyone what I had heard.
At this point, if you don't tell us everything, you might lose your priestess, and one way or another, it all go down. So it's a matter of choosing which battle you want to fight.
The head priest takes out a very ornate domino, flicks it up in the air. As it's sailing, pausing at the top of the flight, you can hear him whisper, "Goddess of luck, guide me. Goddess of luck, protect me. Goddess of luck, help me." And it lands on his open palm, face up. He closes his fist around it, just sighs resignedly. It is some cult. I don't know their names. I just know their faces. They're using my master's blood. They're using the blessing of Eladra to control people. I heard them talking once about how with this, they called it a curse. With this, the blessing has been brutalized. They said that through the things in the blood of my master, if they passed it down, they could coerce others to their will. The one that came was tall, very, very pale. He had blonde hair and a haunting, dark look on his face. He swaggered about like he could do no wrong and could come to no harm.
Is the one he's referring to the Spell Vampire?
That's up to you.
Well,
At this point, Umbra is going to walk out of the shadows and is kind of stand at the bedside. His dagger's still at his waist height, so he's still ready to strike if needed.
The priest does seem surprised to notice you.
Did they call this one anything in particular?
No, that's why I don't know their names. They just called him Master. And, wait, yes. One of them once said, the mourner. But I thought that was a joke. Because, well, he was
Mourner.
joking about being so sad as to ruin such a pristine skin.
Did they talk about this as their master was the mourner, or that they were going after the mourner?
It was, let me see, so the man, he said that it was such a waste to harm such beautiful skin. And one of his underlings, they said, oh, what did they say? They said, you sound as if you are the mourner, my dear.
God.
From all of our interactions and knowledge, does this sound like this could be the true visage of Mercury?
That I cannot answer.
Hmm.
But wait, there's I remember something else. The man, the swanky one, he said something in return. I am just joking.
At
But
that
he's-
point, Umbra's entire demeanor shifts as the dagger is dropped, as he takes a step back.
The head priest is startled into silence.
What is it? Umbra?
No. You are not safe here. Your priestess is not safe here. You are into an elaborate, intricate web in the succession of who will become next emperor. I can potentially offer assistance.
Where? What are they planning on doing with them? With their blood?
This gift, I believe, they are either mutating or changing into lycanthropy to control others, perhaps shifting it into vampirism as well. I do not know which dark magics they have access to, but I know who we are up against. These people, they are members of the Core of Night.
At the mention of the core, the priest holds that same domino still clutched in his hands. He just holds close onto Tatiana's arm and begins whispering frantic prayers to the goddess of luck to give them good luck in this.
Umbra is going to reach down, pick the dagger up. I hate to ask. This is a silvered dagger. I wish to test your priestess's blood to see if it would react to such a thing. We came here under the pretense of hunting the head werewolf who has turned our employer into a werewolf. We had came under the pretense of killing whoever it was, thinking that that was the only way out. However, there is somebody that we know who is doing research on lycanthropy. There is a chance that we may be able to get you some protection and some leverage, as long as you do not mind working alongside. As long as you do not mind working alongside. Let me find where. No, sorry, I'm not going that far. A member of the Enlightened.
A member of the Enlightened. I will take anything at this point to save our dear leader.
Very well.
They have taken the essence of Eladra so deeply into themselves. We must preserve their life.
Well, do they show up on regular intervals, or are their appearances random?
They are random. Sometimes they come several times in one day, sometimes once. One time they did not come for over a day. That was very blessed. It was yesterday, in fact. They did not come all of yesterday.
Fuck, they do have a time, like specific time in the day.
It is mostly in the night.
Oh,
Mostly.
okay.
Then we have many options in what we must do. I believe it is best that we contact our researcher to ensure that they would be willing to accept your priestess as a patient, so that they may be able to cure the lycanthropy that is rampant and the vampirism that is being derived from her. This
I
also
have-
cuts out their source. However, this is risky. To go against the ones that you go against is to go against many people. I, however, am one who is standing up to them. There are those within the core, such as myself, who believe that what they are doing is not honor among thieves. And I seek to make changes.
Regarding the state of Tatiana, would Cain be able to see? Because I have a plan, but I don't know if that would be worth. My plan would be like kill them to remove everything, and then cast Revivify on them.
That is potentially an option.
Would
You-
Cain know if that would work?
I would ask for a religion check with that, as you were asking about something that draws from your own power.
A similar vein. Is she actually? Are they actually dead?
That is
Because-
the thing, they are breathing,
Yeah,
but
Like,
they're,
Kurt
they're
isn't it?
yeah, they look as if they are very similar to Kurt. It seems someone has slipped them the same or a very similar potion and is keeping them alive specifically to kind of keep that power alive.
Oh, it's in the fucking food, isn't it? It's in the soup.
The soup.
The soup. God damn it! It all comes back to the soup.
But how long lasts it? I think lasts like 5 days, 7 days.
No, so do you remember the person that Davina was talking to when we were at the casino and they were at the bar waiting to deliver food to Tatiana?
No, yeah, I mean like the thing to put in the food and
It's-
everything.
It doesn't
the
necessarily
same-
have to be the same potion. It
Oh,
just
okay.
it's
Yeah.
possible that they're using that as a vehicle to drug Tatiana under the guise of, giving them something to feed them.
Yeah, because I mean, as macabre as it sounds, macabre, whatever the term is.
Macabre.
If
Hmm.
if
that-
if someone dies, they'll stop producing blood, and logically, any curses will go with them when they die, unless it's certain ones, and they get brought back when the person comes back alive. So Tatiana isn't dead, but in a state where she's effectively being used as they are effectively being used as a blood bag.
It's
They
possible.
are it's essentially they're inducing a coma and then using them as it's sort of like when you freeze or
Is
like
there
you put
any-
someone in ice and then you harvest organs, except this is more of a regenerative slow draw process.
This is going to be such a random question, but what was the soup? Like, it was a meaty soup, wasn't it? Like a
It
red
was.
meat,
Yeah.
which has iron in it, which you need to replenish blood.
And it's a fluid base, so that means there's water, which also helps part of the regenerative process.
Is there any bowl around with some remaining soup?
I'll answer that question in a second because I already had a question I needed to answer of yours.
Oh yeah.
With a bloody hell, a 25 religion, revivify, you would hazard a guess, might not work in this case. It seems, from everything you've heard, it seems that the curse is tied to the blood. So killing them and then bringing them back would essentially just reboot the curse. It might it would delay it for like up to a minute. So for maybe a minute, the people who have lycanthropy would not have it anymore. But the second that Tatiana was brought back, the curse comes back online because it is in their blood. That's why, in order to stop it, from what you've been told, the head werewolf needs to die. Because once they're dead, it's essentially the power outlet. Once that stops functioning, you know, maybe a couple of people, they've got like good batteries in them. Maybe they'll end up having lycanthropy for a couple of minutes afterwards, but eventually the power will go out and everything else. But if you plug that back in, it all comes back.
Well, if they come at night, then we have time. However, we know this place is probably being watched. They know who we are. We are in a race against time, I believe. There's a chance that if we take her now, we may be assaulted and attacked. If we wait, they may move her. Umbra's going to look to the priest. You are the only one who can make this decision at this point. They cannot make it for themselves.
There is always someone watching. Downstairs, a false priest, playing the piano. If we move them now, then our enemies will know. And they will destroy the casino.
Then I will do what must be done. With that, Umbra sheathes the silvered dagger and produces one of his psychic ones. A death without a trace.
I have another suggestion. Could we somehow, Umbra, lay a trap and wait for them to come?
No. Not if it is who I think it is. If it is who I think it is, then there is nothing we can do to stop them. Our only option is deception and subterfuge. We will not stand a chance and we will all die. Game over. Let me put it this way. If it is who I think it is, they are Mercury's boss. They are the core of this plot, of this everything. They are the most powerful man in the core.
And is the priest sure that that's only one person looking out?
That's all he's mentioned. You get the sense, especially from... There's a bit of a smell coming off him. His knees look very tired. He's been here a while. This priest in particular seems very devoted to Tatiana.
I believe our best option for Tatiana's life is to take out the lookout and sneak out. There is a chance a very good one, that your casino burns. Your temple is razed. However, that is not your true symbol. Your true symbol lies before you. It can be rebuilt so long as they are alive to lead you. However, if you continue down this path, to allow them to be exploited, to allow them to be desecrated, then what are you really, and what symbols do you hold to? The material, or to your god and the people who serve them?
I feel like we always have the luck to rebuild.
Sorry, what was that? The luck to...
Rebuild.
And who knows? With the god of luck on our side, perhaps nothing will go wrong. Then we have a plan. I will kill the false priest, we move out. Worst case, if it causes a scuffle, leave me. I can defend myself. I can get out on my own. Slip away into the crowds. I am the most able to blend in and hide.
And I can take care of moving everyone else out.
Then let us set up layers. I will have somebody at the stairwell, have somebody at the bottom of the stairs to signal, and once the commotion is started, I will try and do it subtly so it appears that the priest has simply died of natural causes, perhaps a heart attack. My psychic daggers do not leave any trace of physical harm. He'll simply collapse on the piano dead, hopefully.
And after we take the priestess, we go towards
Castle.
to Clara and Gwendolyn, I assume.
Yes. However, we don't have the best of ability to contact them. We can ad-lib it as we go. We do not know that passage. That would be the best way. Or we could come back in a few hours after we confirm things and execute the plan then. However, we have been potentially seen by the lookout, meaning that they know that we know, meaning we are in a race against time.
I agree.
You do recall that Davina knows the sending spell, which has been quite useful before to get messages quickly without having to travel to different places.
Quick, you all stay here. I am going to get down, speak to Davina about using some magical communication. That way there we can alert them that we are coming with the priestess. And I am then in position to execute the plan without even needing to go back upstairs, so they won't even know that we are doing multiple movements back and forth.
Can you do your telepathic thing to let us know?
That
when
works
it's
as well.
there?
Yeah,
This
Umbra
is the
will
first Jean Javier has heard of a telepathic thing.
Yes. Umbra will look towards the others, and place a hand to his mask, where his temple would be for a moment. A number equal to your proficiency, so I can choose up to 3 people to connect with me.
Well, that's lucky.
Yeah, it seems we have exactly 3. So...
Is Jean Javert, still in the corridor?
Yep, Jean Javert has
true.
been out here in the corridor the entire time.
maybe feeling a little exposed.
So
You're probably hearing most things that are being said.
8 hours?
so as long as we are within a mile of each other, we can telepathically communicate for 8 hours.
Damn.
That's like the whole day.
Yeah, and because this is the first time I've used this doesn't actually deplete from my psionic energy pool. So as Cain mentions it, the three of us will become linked, and then you all just hear Umbra say, "I will tell you when I know more." And with that, Umbra will slip down towards the bar with Davina.
Yep, Davina has apparently given up diverting attention since you have all slipped upstairs, and is at the bar. And before you even open the door, you can hear her just lecturing the bartender on the proper pouring technique of a good brandy.
Umbra's going to make his way in and come up to the bar, as far away and like out of view of what the priest could see, and is going to lean in next to Davina. "Why, you are such a wonderful, beautiful lady. Why don't I buy you a drink?" And sets down some gold, 2 gold pieces, and kind of shoos the bartender away to go prep them some drinks, as he's just going to lean in closer and whisper, "I need you to use magic to send a message to the princess and Gwendolyn. The priestess is upstairs. I don't have time to explain everything, but we are able to move them to the castle, and then the princess can figure out and cure the lycanthropy using the priestess. It also gets them away from our enemies. They are being used as a tool."
That is serious. Okay. What are we gonna say?
What's my restriction?
25 words.
Very well. Then let's go with... so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So we need to cut 5 words?
Okay. Do you want to post what you've got and we can see?
Yeah.
Well, you can contract we have into weave. And remove we spoke of. And the we from we can bring them in, and that would...
Take the however. We need 8.
Yeah. I mean, just removing have we spoke of we would bring you to the max. And would get the point across.
Sounds like a really badly written fortune cookie.
Princess, we found source of problems. Can bring in, however, need aid. Where can meet to use tunnel?
Where it can tunnel.
Where
Davina is
do we
going to
tunnel?
Davina's definitely going to criticize your handwriting or like your sentence structure, but will send the message anyway. She waits for, about a minute, drinking a brandy, of course. And is told in return, Gadolf's great reads. Ask Gadolf to meet Selena Juka.
Alright, once that's communicated to Umbra, Umbra's going to communicate that to the rest of the party with the psychic link. He's then going to lean in and tell Davina to slap him. And basically make it so it seems that they are not together, and that he was trying to hit on her. Which I am sure she will be incredibly happy about.
I am not going to roll for that because, well, if we leave it up to chance, it's not going to go well.
Oh, Umbra's not even trying to, like, defend himself or anything. Yeah. Like, he'll just take it. With
she
that,
just smiles, goes, gladly, slaps him across the mask. Umbra, I'm gonna need you to roll me a D100. On a 10 or below, your mask slips.
Oh! Oh, oh no, it's a D10, okay.
One more zero, one more zero.
Alright, mask is secure. Umbra is going to, like, make a bit of a stumble or whatever, and then just kind of, like, shake his head and move, away, and kind of appear to be sulking. As he's going... How many patrons are in the bar currently?
It's just you, Davina, a couple of merchants that appear to be having an early morning game of dice, the bartender, and the priest. Quote unquote.
Umbra's going to wait for he's going to sit at the bar and wait for the bartender to become distracted by Davina again, and ensure that these two are distracted in their game before he attempts anything.
They get distracted watching you off to the scene, but then, go back to their own thing. Davina is always able to make a scene when it comes to alcohol. So
with
you get
that,
your opportunity.
Sitting there, Umbra is going to steady his aim, giving myself advantage on the next attack. And then he is going to nonchalantly flick his wrist and send a psychic blade flying at the quote-unquote priest.
Cool. Roll for that, please.
There it is. 20 to hit.
20 hits.
8 plus 9 damage. That's going to be 17 total.
17 definitely deeply wounds the priest, but it's not enough to outright kill.
And I follow up in the same action. Well, I guess it would be the bonus action to throw the second blade.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I guess I wouldn't get advantage for attacking, like, surprising them, would I?
I would say they are still quite surprised.
Then the bonus blade is thrown. For a 27 to hit. For an additional 11 psychic damage.
Making a 28 overall. The priest happily playing away, just riffing on some very light morning jazz. All of a sudden, you see him clutch his side and go, "Ah!" Ah! He turns away from the piano, begins to try and stand up, and then he clutches his heart as well and collapses half onto
I guess he didn't like
the ground.
jazz.
Who does?
Hey, jazz is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm kidding, I love jazz. Yeah, fun fact, the priest had 27 hit points, so your 28 was pretty clutch.
With that, as soon as he sees the priest like collapse, Umbra then like communicates via the psychic link. Now, get moving. With that, I presume the priest making this scene and collapsing.
Would draw the attention of everyone else in the room, yes.
With that, Umbra is going to also kind of like stand up, shocked of like, what's going on?
Davina is going to go, ah! How awful! And just make a whole show of fleeing the room. The bartender will start sliding over and...
This is a
examining the
patio
corpse.
access, eh?
Yes.
Umbra is going to stealth, or try and not be seen by the merchants and everything as they run to like slip out the side to get to like the back access.
Stealth for that? It's not a high DC, they are quite...
Oh,
Uh,
my god!
Yeah, I guess standing up and everything, Umbra trips over his own chair.
I will allow you a performance to play that off as you being shocked at this death.
15?
You seem to try play it off. Jean Javier.
I'm going to attempt to... I saw that there was like a back door down this hallway, right?
Yes.
I'm going to try to sneakily just like make the corner and slide out the door without the receptionist like noticing me head out this way.
You will not be noticed without a roll because Davina is continuing her "oh how horrid"
Oh, perfect.
kind of act and drawing
It
the
was
eye.
a good idea. You're welcome for making you not play Davina in that situation.
Then I will cast Geisha's form into Tatiana and put that inside one of my vials.
Huh.
Would that be possible?
Indeed.
And then I'll get in and get out of here.
All right. Do you take the priest with you as well?
Ooh, we did not talk about it, but
I think Umbra kind of implied that they were the caretaker, therefore they had say.
yeah, then
No, he would
Yeah,
ask to come along for sure.
yeah, then let's go and make it not too much apparent. Use the distraction to get away.
Cool. So you have an hour while Tatiana's body is in gaseous form inside of a potion jar.
Yes,
And I assume all of you are heading to the back door now.
indeed.
As you come down the stairs, you just hear Davina saying, "Someone has collapsed in there. Looks like a heart attack. You must go see. Bye."
Was Umbra able to play off his performance and slip out the
was.
back?
He was.
Perfect.
They did not care all that much. They were very, like, the two merchants were definitely more interested. The barman didn't even notice you. That kind of thing does tend to happen when someone just dies out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Congratulations, my murder hobos. You appear to have successfully gotten away with your first outright murder.
Hey, Umbra is an assassin who specializes in making it look like an accident.
Cool motive, still murder.
Yeah,
Um,
he
Javier
has
was
outright
not
said
in-
he is a bad person who has done horrible things. and will continue
Yeah.
doing horrible things.
Jean Javert was not in the room, nor was he performing any accessory actions. Therefore, he does not know, nor is he an accessory to this.
We also have a pretty good lawyer if we need one.
As the five of you, plus the head priest, who I will call Levi, because I get the sense he's going to be more than just a one-off character now. As all of you manage to flee to the street with your prize in a bottle, I will say, let's go for a little break.
Okay.
You have successfully escaped the hotel with your prize. Where do you go?
The bookstore that we were told to go to.
Great.
Unless there's any objections.
Nope.
Now let's book it.
Which is.
I don't have a symbol.
What is...
Don't worry, Kay. I heard. I understand.
Gadoff's grade reads 18, so that is down the way past the green.
The crowds have thinned out a bit. Most people have gone to work or war already. So you're able to get there without any impediments. You open the door. A big jolly face greets you. Hello! Welcome to Gadoff's Great Reads. I am Gadoff. Can I help you find a book? Perhaps a magazine for the little boys and girls?
It has been some time. However, there's somebody we're looking for. Ah, shoot. Did we have the name written down somewheres?
I hope so. I'll tell you if not, though.
I don't think we do.
I did not write it down.
Yeah.
So the name that you were told to go to was the alias that Princess Clara goes by when she operates in her capacity as the head of the Enlightened. And that name is Selena Jucker.
We're looking for Selena Jucker. We were told that you may be of assistance.
Immediately, the guy's face completely changes. And who sent you?
Sent us. We seek her aid, and we messaged her magically. I am Umbra. I'm not sure if you may have been told that one of my name may be coming.
This is good. I did know this name. You will find the entrance which you seek down the hallway, all the way to the end. Take a right, then a right, then another right, and also a down. You will find a locked door, but I fear that you can probably handle it. And then you will find even more books. Find one called The Treatise of the Casserole. Pull on it, and the door will open.
The titi. The titi of what?
The
I
Treatise
didn't realize.
of the Casserole.
The treaties of the casserole.
I didn't realize casseroles had treaties.
A bucket once had a war.
I know that there was one with emus, but
Yeah, apparently anything can go to war these days, so it makes sense that anything can have a treaty.
I'll
Hey.
write a book about a casserole as a little treaty.
I thank you for your aid. With that, Umbra will give a nod and begin heading down the hall so he can make the first right.
Gadoff will just nod at all of you. find your way through knowledge. Right, you take
so
one
we-
right.
Yeah, heading down.
Then another right, and then another right,
But
and then
also
we head down
down.
some
Right.
stairs.
Oh my god.
You find a set of stairs leading down. At the bottom of the stairs is a door that says, it somehow says, no customers allowed. In that exact voice and spelling.
Well, I was told it was locked, but I'm still going to try the door.
It is indeed locked.
Well, it sounds like it's no longer locked.
It is no longer locked.
Umbra's going to let everybody through before, on the other side, seeing if he can relock the door. To be nice.
That's fair. I'll ask for another check.
Hey, that's perfect!
It takes
Just
you...
goes in, just rakes a little bit.
Yep.
Tumblers fall.
Takes you a little extra second, but you're able to. You will find yourselves in a square, quite dusty, dark room. There is like one light bulb, but it's very dim and it seems to be coloured slightly red, so to not discolour the books inside. And you see 3 bookshelves, one on each wall one that covers each wall that doesn't have the door on it. There seem to be a good couple of thousand books in here, all of which are collecting dust.
Alright, I guess we have to begin looking. Treatise of the Casserole.
Jean Javier will browse the spines.
It seems that this room is a sort of personal repository for maybe Gidoff, maybe the princess's less favourable reads. You see a book on how to dazzle and enchant friends and enemies alike. You see one on the ancient and most dishonourable art, with an E, of necromancy.
Do I find something that would pique my attention? Maybe something about curse?
You find a quite short tome, which describes itself as a Bible and guide to the keeper.
I'll just get that and put it in my pocket. I'm sure the princess will not mind.
It's kind of nestled amongst very similar looking tomes on all of the other gods. Both the ones that are legally allowed to be worshipped and those that aren't. Eventually, is everyone looking, by the way, or just a select few?
Yeah.
Umbra
Yeah.
will help start looking around as well, making note of any interesting ones.
Anissa, you would spot that there is one book which has a lot less dust on it than the others. The Treatise of the Casserole.
Here we go. Paul's book.
The entire bookshelf, to which Umbra was currently browsing, but quite far away from the book in question, just slides into the floor, and beyond is a very, very long, unlit corridor.
I would have loved something like this. Oh well. Come on. I'll just go ahead.
Go.
Javier will follow.
The priest Levi will follow close behind.
Does anyone has a torch?
No, I have dark vision.
Umbra is just walking with a hand to the wall as a guide.
Oh, I have a torch. I just light a torch.
You follow this for what feels like about half an hour. And finally, those with dark vision will see a staircase coming into view ahead, the end of the corridor.
Does it go down very far?
Sorry, it goes upwards.
Oh, up.
And it crests around in a spiral, about 2 floors up, and then seems to end in a brick wall.
Let's see. It was the back of a wardrobe, you'd either push it, or there'd be a lever, or I don't know.
Just start pushing bricks. And Umbra's just...
A lot of you start pushing on things, and the first person to push on, like, the wall that ends, will see that the entire wall is nothing more than a fabrication as it swings easily inwards and directly into the princess's dressing room.
Oh my god.
Well, now we know where the tunnel leads.
That's why I picked illusion last time. Princess? Miss Clara? Are you here?
You hear footsteps approaching, door opens. Ah, you have all made it. Wonderful.
Indeed. This is Levi, one of the priests, the one who is looking after Tatiana, who we believe is the head werewolf, and we have with us, who has been under some form of drugging, and the core of night has been leeching their blood to be used for various nefarious purposes.
And while Umbra is explaining everything, I just take the vial out and shake, do a little shake to show where they are.
Very creative. Why don't you step into the central room? I was just having some tea.
Is there any place that I can accommodate them?
Can I roll insight?
Go for it.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's
'Cause-
just that tone.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm. I guess Jean Javert kind of already has like a slight distrust, but he's not really picking anything like directly up.
Pretty much. Anissa, you're also a very suspicious person by nature. You've,
Oh yeah.
you know, you've learnt enough. You feel like Clara is nervous about something.
Is there any particular direction that Clara is looking as we enter the main room? Is there like I don't know. For instance, is Clara looking towards the main entrance to this room where I would assume, even though the map I can see, I would assume that there'd be a guard out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you do indeed see her kind of flick her eyes downwards to like the front door of her quarters, and you also see her eyes flicker to the like the main dining table, which has got a fair few different potions that have been brewed, and they smell very bad. She sits down.
Tea, eh? Some tea you have, eh?
She does have another cup of tea resting on the coffee table. She picks it up before standing up, and you just hear her look at Sir Waddles and just go, where? Sir Waddles goes, where? And gets up
Thank you, Sir Waters.
and slides off of the bed onto the sofa before nestling up right into the pillows.
Then I'll drop the concentrate on the gaseous form and yeah, pour it out in the bed.
It is indeed the head priest. Most troubling.
Yes.
If they can
And-
get to someone like them.
May I ask, how is the research going?
Not well. Not well.
I hope the progenitor of all your issues is able to answer some clues and questions, given that it'll probably cause some unforeseen circumstances of our actions. By unforeseen, I mean their temple will be razed and potentially the city turned over by the core. But that is neither here nor there.
If only they could answer the questions. They seem to be in a false death. All we seem to do now is we have to wait for them to wake up.
Time is not on our side. Our employer is going to become a full-blown werewolf sooner rather than later. Is there nothing we can do to wake them up sooner?
There is a potion of an antidote for this types of thing. It is called the sudden awakening, but I do not have the materials to be able to gather it myself. I don't believe anyone in the city does sell it.
What do you need?
I need the essence of a lightning elemental.
Well, that's quite a tall order right there. The only people that would be able to conjure up certain such things would have to be from the Enlightened themselves. but I don't think they're very willing to be parting with such things, especially to the non-academics.
And conjured elementals just don't have the same kick as naturally occurring ones. But there is a storm that comes in, I think, tomorrow evening. It's meant to hit the mountains, but not touch the plains. If you can get to the mountains, there is a chance that lightning elementals may strike the earth.
I might
Does that
say
fit our timeline?
Oh, I believe you now have 6 days to cure your prince.
It actually is fitting with all this ideology of this god they follow, all about chances and luck.
The head priest will, the priest Levi will just pipe up. Oh, it is so fortuitous that a storm happens to be coming in. This is perhaps the blessing of Eladria.
Perhaps not. In my experience, the gods don't care too much about anything else besides themselves. I'll look over to Umbra. So you think that's a good idea? Try to capture a elemental.
What other choice do we have? We have run out of options of other things to pursue. If we are in our belief that they have been continuously feeding this potion, it makes sense that Tatiana, they will not wake up for at least another 7 days. That doesn't line up with our timeline. What other choices do we have?
If you could find someone that knows any other place to get what I seek, perhaps, someone I don't in the city, that may save you the trip and the danger.
What about?
I'm sorry. I'm not really much of an alchemist or an herbalist, so apologies for my question, but is it possible to, oh, I don't know, reverse engineer something that has the opposite effect of what we're seeking? I know that
Yes.
you can turn venom into antivenom. That's as far as my knowledge goes. So I'm thinking, what if you could turn a sleeping potion into an awakening potion?
Your theory is indeed solid, and that is where we came to with the sudden awakening. It was a reverse engineered potion of sleep spells.
But you would still need.
Yes.
Yeah. What about the festival of portents? Those guys deal with a lot of different monsters and beasts. Perhaps they could have what we seek.
Well, they are in the business of extracting said monster parts. We witnessed that firsthand.
And
Not
we did
familiar.
help them.
And you recall now that they also promised you a griffin flight.
So at the very least, we do have that as far as travel goes, if not just what we need. Well, either way, we get something out of it. Either we get what we need, or we can at least make our travel up towards the mountains a bit quicker.
But what about the security of this place?
Well, security is only meant for the front door, isn't it? We don't need to take the front door.
No, I don't mean for us. I mean, if they plan to infiltrate here, if they somehow track the High Priestess to this place.
Oh, they probably have done.
I don't suppose that you would have stopped and examined the tunnel, but there are very many countermeasures that I've put in place to prevent people I do not wish to access it from doing so.
Umbra is going to, at this point, suddenly put 3 and 2 together, walk up, and just start examining Tatiana's fingers for the ring that allows the hidden scrying.
The left hand is fine. The right hand has a ring on it.
Everything is compromised. This ring allows for scrying without detection.
We have a priest right here.
Can you remove curses?
I can.
Then remove this one.
It is cursed.
The ring is cursed.
It was a gift.
And it is cursed.
Did we give her the ring?
No. But someone else did.
Yep, someone somewhere has put a ring on them. Oh, the reeds are going to be so annoyed about this. He grips the finger with the ring on it, mutters the spell. The ring comes off in his hand.
Might be an odd question to ask, but what finger was the ring put on?
It was put on the index finger of the right hand.
A promise ring.
Above table, when is the storm happening again?
Tomorrow night.
Well, now that we have removed another of these damned things, we can now once again speak in peace. However, it is potential that the core knows where Tatiana is.
I mean, let's be honest, they probably knew where they were immediately. We're not exactly subtle individuals. Your Highness, is anyone else in the palace wearing one of those rings?
I can't say that I know that off the top of my head, but I can certainly persuade my mother to do a thorough examination of our staff.
I would perhaps advise not making it verbally obvious, just in the event you see someone wearing it. Keep a note of it.
I will
It
do.
means that they are a person of great interest, as well as a trusted member of the Joker's circle, from what I am aware of.
Who gave Tatiana that ring?
Levi pipes up. Their friend, River Reed, as they brought over soup.
Of course.
Noted.
Do not
and-
allow River Reed around Tatiana again. It would appear that they work for the core, more specifically, the Joker.
At the mention of a member of the Reed household, Clara will just look very curious and a little unsurprised, and just shout in a queerly quiet voice, "Gwendolyn, dear, come here, please." You hear a chair scraping in the library. Gwendolyn opens the door, slips in. Yes. River, you're, Oh, of course,
Cousin?
River. My cousin, yes. Always so full of themselves. Why do you want to know?
He seems to be entangled with Altus.
They work for a very dangerous and high up member of the Corps of Night. At least they have connections to them. Do you know anything about this?
Can't say I've ever heard them talk about it in particular, but they don't say favourable things about the Enlightened, which surprises me considering, where our family is in the pecking order.
Have they ever made reference to any odd words in specific?
Odd words. They are an odd person. A very odd person. You'd have to
please
speak
go ahead.
more to their brother, Austin.
And what is their appearance?
Mid-40s, black hair, scruffy beard, way scruffier than a knight should have. Madame Hepburn, I believe your brother is squiring, isn't he? With Austin Reed. Davina will nod. Of course, Elias. Let's go talk to him.
Is Austin and River close?
They grew up together. They live in the same house. Then so do I, technically. It's a very big house. They had the East Wing. My family was raised in the Northeast Wing. Very different.
Have you ever come across anybody wearing a particular ring? And Umbra is going to motion to whoever has the ring currently for them to present it.
Oh, yes, of course. That's River's signature style right there. Gaudy, red ruby surrounded by ornate and completely decadent gold carvings. Yep. That's River's style.
Then perhaps they are the mastermind who created them.
I doubt
These
it.
rings...
They're an upholsterer. They do not have magic. At the best, they've used their money to hire someone to do what they cannot.
Perhaps not
that
the
type of
direct
person.
creator, but the beneficiary. These rings are used to mark an inner circle, from what I am understanding. One of the members of the Corps of Night, the rot that eats away at the organization. The ones who have no honor among thieves and criminals. The ones who seek to put the Starry in line for the throne.
The Undying Court.
It seems that the higher-ups have some form of alliance.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't surprise anyone, honestly.
And it seems Tatiana was caught in their webs and being used. Now we have removed them from it.
Well, isn't that nice of you all? Tatiana and River go way back. That much I do know. They they both came out around the same time. Made their bond stronger. It would probably hurt Tatiana very much to know that their chosen sibling, as they saw River, had betrayed them.
I'm not sure if it's betrayal in River's eyes, if they really are the type of person you speak of. Perhaps they saw them as saving them. They have some kind of twisted delusions. Or they could be a complete bastard.
Yes, both are very possible. Again, talk to Austin. At the very least, he will know a little bit more about River's whereabouts and activities.
I do have one last question. Have you ever seen an individual around the Reed households with blonde hair, personality? Levi, describe the master of these people again.
Oh, yes, he was a sly, like rather greasy-looking gentleman. Blonde hair, always had this very confident smile on him, walked about like he owned the place. Very, very pale. Gwendolyn's face just falls at that. Oh god, yes. I know of them.
You have a name?
I do, but I would hesitate. It is not a correct name, more a pseudonym. Sabal. Sabal.
And what do they do?
Very much like the priest said. Swan about, own the place. But I know. I have seen them. I have seen the fangs. They're
True
a vampire.
There's a chance that they may not be the Joker, then. They're just the head vampire, who these spawn flock to. Well, I guess not flock to. More Sabal has created them. But their reference of joking around, it perturbs me. There's only reference to them.
It's
It
not
is
a safe
possible.
way.
It is possible that it is just one of the core members without their mask. Is it not? Princess Clara says.
Potentially. However, I'm unaware if the Joker would actually take such risks. Perhaps I jumped to conclusions off the words. And I doubt anybody like that would allow somebody to see their face and let them live. Not when they are somewhat connected, even loosely, to core activity.
that not a way to uh, make sure of that without compromising?
Well, I can bring at least the information we found to my handler, and can potentially glean some more information. We have more pieces of the puzzle. We can unravel the web a bit further. Perhaps it is time for you all to meet them. For us to have... for us to at least be able to speak. If you are to get entangled into this mess with me, you at least deserve a bit more insight to what is going on.
I want to talk to Davina because I think Ken would be like, since Austin, it's kinda of relate to River. They are really close, and Davina's brother is quarrying to Austin. I wanna ask her if she thinks her brother is at some level of danger, if that concerns her.
I would say she would definitely be concerned about that. Her sister has already been recently threatened by one of these guys, a different vampire, and his lackeys. So Austin would definitely be at the forefront of her mind right now.
I'm just gonna express that if she needs any help with this subject, this problem, she can count on me.
I'm not quite sure how Davina would respond to that, so I'm just going to note that down and hold it in, put it in Sarah's court for next session.
Were you all to come with me? There is a single condition that must be met. Masks. They must cover at least half your face. However, if you wish to maintain anonymity, I suggest full masks such as what I wear.
We still have the masks we used to meet with the monarch.
You do?
Then we can meet this person, and then we can try go to the festival to see if we can acquire any information or anything. And if not, we go to the mountains, I assume.
We don't have any other choice, do we?
Not that I see without speaking to my handler.
Even then.
I do doubt that they would have access to lightning elemental essence, but
I do just wonder. Unfortunately, most of us are not that combative. So, I'm just wondering exactly how we're gonna be taking down a fresh, wild lightning elemental.
Painfully, I imagine.
indeed.
With a lot of insults from both you and Venus.
I would like to point out I don't have vicious mockery.
You can always use good old natural vicious tomfoolery.
My dexterity's not good enough for that.
So do you guys gather and head to where Umbra wants to go?
Yep.
Do you go out the front or back?
I presume we
pretty
would
weird
go
if we
out
went out
the
the front.
back.
Yeah.
Out the back, it sounds like?
Yeah. The back puts us in the middle of the city anyway, which is like better access.
You all say goodbye to, well, everyone in the room. Obviously, Levi will remain behind to care for Tatiana.
Mhm.
Another half hour passes as you traipse back through the corridor and emerge once again in Gadolf's good books. There is a locked door in front of you.
We really
I'm
need to
gonna-
get a key.
I'm gonna try the door.
Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. It is
Well, it was
locked.
worth a shot.
Perhaps we could get a key. That's a good
Wait.
ask.
Is this the kind of lock where it's like a double-sided key, and there's like no actual like latch on either side of the door?
Yeah, like there's a keyhole kind of below the knob. So you can lock or unlock it from either way. The latch is kind of part of the doorknob mechanism.
Alright, I'm just leaving it to Umbra. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't like trying to pick a lock when the latch was like right on our side.
Does a 10 make it eventually?
It takes like a good 2 minutes.
The security pins are sometimes harder to get on the opposite side.
I assume quite a lot of not so gentle jabbing from Davina.
Yeah, that also doesn't help, which Umbra repeatedly tells her to shut up.
She does not, obviously.
Eventually we get out.
Yep. Do you lock the door behind you?
Umbra just looks at the lock and just I don't this isn't the way that I should leave open. If they know we went this way, there's a chance that they can get through. Let's just lock it again.
Takes you about a minute and a half.
Jean
More jabs
Javert
from,
pats Umbra on the shoulder and just says, "You do know that since we're leaving through here, we could have just told the fella up front to lock behind us."
I imagine you wait until right after Umbra has
Yeah,
finished.
right
locking the door.
Right as soon as he finishes, the minute and a half later, he just like drops that on him.
How does Umbra react?
There's just such an energy of I fucking hate you.
Fair enough. You go left, and then left again.
Mm-hmm.
Hello again. Did you find what you were looking for?
Indeed. It seems we may be going back and forth a bit more often. We do know the way, however, a key might be useful instead of picking the lock multiple times to allow lock and unlock it.
I will have another one made up for you. In the meantime, do you have any books to check out? I hope that you did not just take the one about casseroles. There are many
No.
interesting books down there.
But I do admit I took a scroll to read.
Alright, fess up, who took a book? Apart from, Cain.
My hands are up.
You'll
Jean
know.
Javert has one. Jean Javert has 2 books on him right now, but those were the same ones that he's been carrying the whole time.
Gadolf will
Umbra
look at
has-
each of you in turn.
Has no books.
Looks over at Anissa.
Has not.
Well, what scroll did you take, young old person? Can't quite place
well.
Cain with the like pure white face dripping blood from the eyes.
Well, I took a short the Bible and Guide to the Keeper.
That is a very boring read. Take it. Ugh. Disgusting. Dark magic shit. Ugh. Seems that one's in the extreme clearance section.
Oh, thank you. And I
It
walk
will-
away.
I will have key for you upon your next visit. The princess says that you are honorary enlightened members. And he realizes what he's just said and stops. Because he's not meant to say the P word. I mean, random commoner Selena Jucker.
Well, thank you very much. We'll be sure to be back to peruse the books in a couple days' time.
Good luck on your adventure.
So, Umbra, where is the place that we have to meet your contact?
Follow me. And with that, Umbra is going to lead them to the guild hall. Masks on.
Just
Yes,
full
sir.
blown knight helmet.
With that,
And
Umbra leads them downstairs.
You see that the building has 4 floors that rise up, but the directory has 5 floors. One is in the basement, which is the floor designated for the Corps of Knight. Umbra takes you along signs pointing towards the listener, before finally you reach an office. It is about the same size as the room in which you found the treaties of the casseroles.
The hider?
Oh, sorry, yes, the hider.
As we get to the door, is it open or?
It is closed. I assume you knock as you always do.
Yep. Umbra knocks.
Come in.
Umbra opens the door and walks in, allowing others to trail in behind.
You've brought your friends.
We have found information that is relevant enough that I thought we all be here. I'm sure you know all of them. Everybody, this is the hider, my handler.
Pleased to meet you all.
Javier tips his hat.
The individual is covered head to toe in like padded black clothing. You can't tell age, race, sex, nothing. They even seem to have a magically modified voice to be completely anonymous.
We have unraveled a bit more of this web of lies. It seems that the chief werewolf was Tatiana, the head of the head of the Aladra religion.
As we suspected.
Indeed, however, they were not in on it, as more so River Reed had potentially used them from a nefarious means. They were under the effects of a false death potion when we found them. I was ready to kill them at a moment's notice if it was but a feint, but it was not. We spoke to the priest Levi, and it seems that an individual with blonde hair, a demeanor beyond care, a greasy look to them, and a swagger of that they owned the place, was coming and going, taking blood from Tatiana for their means of controlling people with it. Upon some further investigation and pressing the priest that was within there, this individual did not make any mention of who they were, and their minions simply referred to them as Master. However, they did make reference of just joking around, which is when I engaged to press a bit more, or once I learned of them and that they were connected to this web of lies, I pressed a bit more and learned the information. We then were able to do a bit more digging and learned that this individual is known to the Reed family as Sabal and appears to be a vampire. They arrived with no mask and made no attempts to hide their face. I at first assumed they might have been the Joker. However, after learning a bit more information, it seems that that might have just been coincidence that I partook as a Freudian slip. There is no way that the Joker would allow themselves to be seen unmasked and tie them back to themselves. Not at least from what I have heard. In order to cure, as well as to keep Tatiana out of their clutches, we have moved them to a safe location, as well as we must seek the essence of a lightning elemental in order to awaken them from their feigned death potion, for them to be able to be helpful to a contact, the one I spoke about before, who seeks to cure this scum and villainy from their fair city.
Thank you for the report. Anything to add, the rest of you?
No.
No, he seems to have summed it up rather well.
It was thorough. We can always count on Umbra to make things thorough.
Oh, there is one small detail I need to add. They had, I believe, the Joker's forces, that were in the room and everything. They did mention specifically the mourner, by name. However, that is what initially had me step out and press some more info out of the priest that was within there. As well as to get Tatiana out, I had to kill their lookout. I did it with my gifts, so it appears that they simply had a heart attack and died. However, given that they were a lookout for that section of our wondrous guild, They probably know of my gifts and can pin it to me. They know we moved against them and have taken Tatiana. There is a chance that the casino here burns as the threat to Levi, the priest who was watching over Tatiana, was that if they were to try and get help or escape, that their temple would be razed to the ground.
A price it seems he has decided is worth paying.
A bit of persuasion was able to get them to leave. I appealed to their sense of what is better, the devil you know or the devil you don't. As if they were to stay there, Tatiana would be continue to be used, or put their lot in with us, and have their temple razed, but they can rebuild with their symbol still alive and recovered.
The casino will be a great loss to the city. It is not just the center of worship. It is a place where many people go. It will be an unpopular choice of action.
Indeed, perhaps the vampire was simply bluffing.
Casinos
Perhaps.
and bars are generally places where vampires like to hunt.
Perhaps the Sabal is was using fear to try and keep them in line. There's a chance that they were not under direct supervision of the Joker or one of their individuals.
We will have to see. I will anonymously put along a word to the local fire department that they should be aware of fires in the Western District.
Umbra will nod. With this information, I did deem it necessary to bring everybody along in case you had any info for us, or you may be able to help us with taking down a lightning elemental. Our contact that we brought Tatiana to mentioned that there is a storm coming in tomorrow and will hit the peaks of the mountains. Currently, our only option to save our employer, as well as aid Tatiana and unravel this mess further, is to travel to the mountaintops and kill one of the elementals to harvest their essence.
Few people have faced lightning elementals. You should talk to those who have. I believe you already know where to go for that.
It seems we were going to head there for our travel anyways. They have offered us rides on their griffins for helping them earlier deal with some escaped beasts.
Just remember that the essence of an lightning elemental is not something that is just left behind on the ground to pick up. It is something that must be captured. Something made of metal, like an automata, would be best.
Jean Javert smiles and his silver tooth glistens in the dim light.
What is
I
the
do
name of the
believe
guy?
one that goes by the name of Rogue we have made contact with. They are an automata that it seems Anissa knows. They will make do.
Oh, I was thinking about the little automata
Oh,
at the
robots.
festival.
No, we're not risking Brobot. Robots are bro.
Robot almost risked his life just to help us fight that horrible creature. We're not gonna risk Robot's life. We'll risk Rogue's.
Is there any leverage that you might know about this automata named Rogue?
Despite the name, they are not affiliated with us.
Ah. I was unsure if that was simply their code name.
They are an independent party. I know that some of our members have worked with them before, but they are not of our core.
Very good, then. And of this information pertaining, you do not think the Sibyl is the Joker? It does not sound like risks they would be willing to take.
I wish I knew. They could be like the Mercury, many different faces for the same name.
We have it on authority that we should also look into Austin Reed. The entire Reed family seems to be thick into this. River wears one of the mourner's rings. Perhaps the progenitor of them.
Yes.
Or is
and
the one
cousin
give
works closely with the Enlightened. I am aware of the Reed family.
I believe we are going to look into them as well a bit further. Should we find any other information, is there any of within them that is off limits to eliminate should it be necessary?
They have thrown their lot in elsewhere. Do what you will, but do it tactfully. Murdering an entire rich household is very bad for business.
Indeed it is. If anything, I believe the core rot may be River himself. However, there could be more. We have alerted our contacts in the Enlightened to keep an eye out for the rings. For if they come across them, they are to know that they are no friend and an active enemy that would go against them and seek them harm. If anything, if nothing else, outing the rings outs the Joker and their people. As we share this around, it makes it harder for them to operate given their curse of not being able to be removed. It is both a blessing and a curse, really. We are able to identify and eliminate them now.
However, you must recall that you yourselves wore those rings unknowingly. It is not an exact condemnation, but I will issue the, well, arrest, I should say, of the mourner, so they will not do any more damage by handing out these rings willy-nilly, and get to the bottom of why they handed them out to you, as well as key players.
If we can capture the mourner, it may provide insight into the scope of the plot. Given that they slipped one on River, given that River slipped one on Sybil, it is shown that I believe River is in on the conspiracy. At the very least, they are not an innocent party in this fact. There are some, however, I do not like to take chances. So long as they are not essential roles to play, or too powerful of figures, I believe it is best to eliminate them.
Yes, I will engage the Vanguard. Now, I've heard enough of my award's voice. What about the others of you? If you wear those masks, if you choose to act as members or allies of the Corps of Knights, it is generally understood that you take a name according to our custom. I offer you that chance. We generally call ourselves nouns. I am the hider. But some choose to go by more fanciful terms like Umbra here.
Oh, you can call me the curse.
Ow. Oh, that hurt. Oh, that edge.
Do you wish a name? Top-hatted one? The gentleman, perhaps?
I appreciate it, but I actually do prefer to go by my name. I find I don't really have much to hide.
And would you like to share that name?
Of course, you may call me Jean Javier. The cat is silent.
You sense amusement coming off of the hider. Very well. And, yourself? The hider gives attention to Anissa.
I'm good, thank you. I don't have any particular interest in joining or aligning myself with your organization. I'll do nothing against it, and I will assist Umbra where it is necessary. But it would be dishonest if I were to do more than that.
Very well. And I'll ask Sarah in my own time about what she may want to be called, if at all. Now, I will deal with the mourner for now. You track down this essence. It seems the time is of the essence.
Indeed. We will meet with them and perhaps meet with Austin River. It seems that they are the first person that is closely connected to River that we have easy access to begin unraveling his web of deception.
If you desire,
I will
but
keep...
remember, curing the lycanthropy is your top priority.
Indeed, our first stop will be to confirm our griffin ride and to see what we can learn about fighting such an elemental, as well as collecting rogue along the way.
And just before you all go, I am glad to see that you have come. I have entreated my betters and have found a little hole in the budget through which I can help you all get a little bit further ahead. I have here 100 gold. Split it however you want, use it however you want, it is yours. And they just grab this bag and basically throw it at Umbra.
Does Umbra catch it, is the real question.
Roll a dex save.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, one hand.
I thank you for the aid, Hyder. I shall return. Perhaps we shall all return when we next have an update for you. With that, Umbra will bow before the Hyder. Not motioning for anybody to follow suit or anything. They can do it if they wish.
Does anyone else bow?
No, I just follow, yeah. The interaction's done.
Jean Javert just tips his hat again. That's as much of a gesture as he'll do.
Fairs. As you are all leaving, you'll just hear the hider whisper in a kind of amused tone, "Good fortune to you all."
Umbra will lead them out of the core area and give a nod to them all. Now that you have met my handler, the hider, it is of importance that should I die or disappear, they be alerted. They know who I am, or at least I believe they do. They will have the connections to get information across. And should I be killed in this line of action, then they will need to know as well as perhaps distance themselves or find a new operative to continue on my fight to get rid of the corruption, to bring honor among thieves once again.
Well, to be honest, I don't expect you to die on us anytime soon, but I'll keep that in mind.
I don't know. Without my help in the mansion with the werewolves, he surely would have died. I don't think he's as invulnerable as he likes to believe half the time, but it's good to hear some confirmation on your own mortality. Makes it seem like an actual real person now and then.
Make no mistake. While I am undoubtedly skilled and psychically gifted, at the end of a day, a knife is a knife, and a knife will kill. I have no grand illusions that I am immortal or anything close to it.
It's just that some peoples have difficulty in dying.
In my line of work, I deal death and come face to face with it. I have accepted that I am likely to die in my line of work. If I do not, then my goals will be served, and perhaps I will no longer need this persona. However, that is a journey and a discussion for another day. For now, we have things to do. We must meet with Rogue, get them on board, and go talk to the Griffin handlers.
We're not taking Rogue.
Why not?
I'm not losing one of the few friends I have left.
Then what other construct can we use?
Fucking any other one. But not
Well,
Rogue.
now necessarily, your employer did not. Oh, I'm sorry, your handler did not say that it had to be an automaton or any construct of the like. They did say that it just had to be some kind of metal cage or metal bottle that we can withhold it in.
Indeed, although a construct would lend us some assistance.
How do you know for sure that being a vessel even kills a construct?
I don't. I'll be blunt, I don't.
Well, then why don't we go talk to Rogue and see what she has to say?
Fine.
You really should reach out to your friends and keep in touch with them. I'm sure she wouldn't mind the visit.
Well, that is if we can even get back into the hotel. It is a crime scene. Well, there was a medical emergency, I apologize. Slip of the tongue.
Well, it is on the way. If we just head north and then we continue on Lontaine towards the park where the beast wranglers are still set up, we can see exactly how the setup of the hotel currently is.
You make a good point. We can also always give the offer And if Rogue thinks that they will not survive, then we can go about a different way. Either way, I think the more the merrier. In this
Isn't there-
particular
Isn't
situation.
there a little mechanical fella down at down with the monster trappers and all that?
The robot, was it not? I mean, if the monster hunters bring them along or sends them on their way, I don't see why we can't just bring one more thing. But I do not think that they'd be as capable in combat as Rogue would be.
Oh, well, we don't need them to be capable in combat. We just need them to actually hold the essence.
So it sounds like first step, go to see Rogue.
Hmm.
I see rogue.
And that's where we're going to pick off next session.